Hi there, Dave Rawlings here. I've been looking for a new Dussack simulator. Now, one of the problems I have with the majority of Dussacks is because I like training with both hands, having something which is asymmetrical in the guard is not particularly useful for me because I end up having to have two Dussacks where most people would have one. So I've been looking at options. Now, the simplest option really is to go for a Cutlass, but this gives us some limitations as well. Now, I've been working with the chappie from Carnage Claymores, and we went through a couple of options, and really what I've gone for is we've based our Dussack Cutlass kind of with Dussack-y kind of feel, but basing it towards the Baltimore Cutlass. And there's a few things that we've gone through that we've made little adjustments on, and I wanted to run through them with you. Now, I came back about half an hour ago and they were waiting on my doorstep for me, so it's kind of a new thing for me, and I thought you might like to have a look. So, without further ado, first of all, we have two options as we've gone through this. They are very, very, very simple Dussacks. There are certain features about this that you need to be aware of. Now, the first thing is these things are thick, they are wide, and they are fairly heavy. And I'll put the specs up in a little bit online for you as well. So I'll get those from him. Now, here you can see the guard is incredibly, incredibly solid. There's no problem with that. And again, this is something we wanted because we wanted a lot of protection. The reason we've gone for a lot of blade thickness on this is because of when we're doing things like Maya, we want to have the ability to lateral swap with the blade. So we didn't want the blades getting damaged by this lateral movement with the flat of the blade and with flat blows. So also, as you notice here, we've kind of gone for a leather covering. Now, this is a prototype, so we're going to go through some experimentation with this. But rather than just relying on having a glove, we wanted to have something which was going to give the hand more protection. I'm not sure how much extra protection this is going to give without being padded out, so it's something we need to work on. Now, I have to say that the balance on these is good. They are heavy, as we kind of expected them to be, but they're not dead in the hand. And particularly once you put a glove on, this actually changes quite a lot. So, as you can see, quite short, quite a strong curve to the blade, incredibly, incredibly sturdy guards on these things. No rattle, very, very happy with that. Simple, as you can see. Now we have one other model. As you can see, this one here is solid, here. Now, as I mentioned, there's a little bit of an issue when we're coming to using this for Dussack work, which is particularly if we want to do either of the Maya forms, we want to be able to thumb the blade. So one of the things we came up with, which is kind of what I call the Musashi guard, but you'll see what I mean. So here's what I'm calling the Musashi guard. Now, simply this means that here I've got two open ports in the guard, like so. Now, obviously, this means that there's potential for us to be stabbed through. This, by the way, I feel has got a slightly better feel than the other one, and I think it's because we've lost some of the weight from the guard. I do think overall this is a good heft, and it's still heavy for a short sabre, for a Dussack. Now, as you can see with this, it's now become very, very easy for me to thumb the blade. So I can now do Dussack plays with either hand quite happily. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a piece of leather over the top, which I'll be able to basically thumb up like the supposed rain guards here. So I'll be able to do that, and then I'll have some protection against thrust through this as we go. Now, again, this came with the leather insert to keep my hand a little bit safer. Again, I'd pad that out. That's the be all and end all. I think it'd be a little bit safer that way. I have to say, of the two, this is my favourite one. I think the lightness of this with the little bit missing here has made a little bit difference. The feel of this is absolutely lovely, so this is going to become the school model, I think. Here, like I say, this needs to be covered over. As far as sparring tools are concerned, I would only use this in the manner that we are using, which is because we're training a lot at the moment with these things, using what I like to call control safety rather than armoured safety. I think we're going to be safe training with these because nobody's going for very, very hard hits. We're looking at structure, we're looking at timing, we're looking at distance, we're looking at how the blades interact together without trying to slam together full tilt. So with that context, I think these are going to be fine for sparring. If you're going for high impact competition sparring, this is not the tool for you, but then this isn't the tool that we wanted it to be. So they are thick, they are width-wise thick, they are reasonably heavy, not too bad at all. This has got a nice manoeuvre to it. I wholeheartedly recommend Carnage Claymores. I'm incredibly happy with this. The turnaround has been quick. We've been looking with problems that he had going on. We've been looking about 2 months overall, so I'm incredibly happy with that as well. I will put up some footage of these being played with at some point. Very, very happy. I can't wait to see how they play. Thank you very much, Carnegie Claymores. One small thing I forgot to mention, sorry for the shaky selfie cam, flex in the thrust. There is none. So again, this comes back down to thrusting with courtesy and control, and basically holding the thing through control of your arm and control of distance. They're not designed to flex, they're designed to be sturdy in the blade, as I said. So no flex. Again, if you want flex because you want to thrust heavily, not the thing for you. They are the thing that we asked for. Perfect. Take care.